Well, it might seem like a good time to buy a home with prices dropping all around the Bay Area, but what should you know before you make that down payment? Brendon DeSimone of Paragon Real Estate Group is here with some good advice. Good morning to you, Brendon.
Good morning.
Let's talk about foreclosures first, because that's obviously been the top of the news. Are foreclosures the thing to buy right now?
Right now in Contra Costa County, there's over 5,000 homes that are owned by banks. There's another 6,000 homes in the pipeline in the pre-foreclosure stage. So there's a huge opportunity out there for buyers right now.
Well, is cheap necessarily good, though?
Not necessarily. They're great deals. You got to be careful, though. You're buying these houses as is. So you've got to have a good home inspection. Know that house inside and out. Do not expect the bank to negotiate or do any work to the house before you close escrow.
Well, that's another thing. I know that now I've read stories about how they're having these bus tours, that they're trying to sell off all these foreclosures. Should people feel rushed into buying them?
No, don't feel rushed. We've got a lot more time. We're close to the bottom. We're not quite there yet. But get on the buses. Get out and see these properties. There's some really good opportunities. Banks do not want to be in the business of owning real estate. Unlike the normal seller who wants a top dollar, the bank is willing to let this thing go for below market value. That's a great opportunity for a buyer, and it's not going to be around forever.
What do you think of auctions, too?
A little bit riskier at auctions. If you go for the bank foreclosed homes, you have a better shot at getting clear title. Not everybody should be going to the home auctions. You got to do your research and know what you're doing in these auctions.
Okay, I want to talk about neighborhoods too, because we go from one end of the spectrum to the other. That I know, for instance, in Oakland, I did a story about some neighborhoods which are still commanding top dollar price for homes and multiple bids. That sounds unheard of in this market.
Yeah, you can't assume every market is the same. You can't walk into Rockridge and expect to find foreclosures and price reductions. Yeah. They're having multiple offers and bidding wars. Go to North Oakland. Try the areas that got hit hardest 2 and 3 years ago. That's where the deals are. Discover a new neighborhood. Be open to the place that's off the beaten path.
What should people do then if they're looking? What is your priority? Or that's really very personal, right? Is it price? Or is it going to be neighborhood?
You got to match up where you want to live and what you can afford. Decide what you can afford, and then talk to a local realtor who knows that market and figure out where exactly what your price is will match where you want to live. And then do your homework, do your research, and figure out what the best house is for you in that neighborhood.
All right, well, that sounds like just common sense, though, not necessarily for anything that's going on with this market at this particular time.
You got to do your homework. You really got to do your homework. But these foreclosures are good deals. If you're living in an area or want to live in an area where they have foreclosures, go look at those houses. You're going to get them far below market value. And we're really at 20 and 30-year lows here.
But the Bay Area is such an anomaly, too. I mean, I understand, too, that there's another trend that a lot of people want to move closer to the city again. They want to be near transportation, the high price of gas. They're foregoing the suburbs.
It's true. We're going to see prices continue to hold steady and or appreciate as you get closer to San Francisco. The outlying areas may have a little bit more trouble as gas prices continue to go up.
Okay, so I'm just going to have you list the top 4 tips that you would have very quickly for people.
Know the seller. Find out who the seller is, why they're selling. You can learn a lot about what your offer needs to do if you find out who the seller is and what their motivations are. Find the right things wrong. Don't buy the house with the granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. Think avocado green appliances and shag carpets. And also, know your local market. Know the neighborhoods where you want to live and do your research.
Cool. Brendon DeSimone, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we appreciate your tips. All right. The louder